Today, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Leading the Packers offense out here, the same man who has been doing so since 2008. That's the great Aaron Rodgers.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. On second down, it's Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. So this game of our, Charles, you know, the talk of the NFL world all week. Two unbeaten teams. You rarely see such a matchup this deep into a season.
I would agree with that, because normally you might get one team undefeated for a while, but two teams like this, and I remember in preseason, you looked at schedules and said, I think these two are on a collision course. It'd be interesting to see if they actually get there, and they did. And to me, the winner of this game has to wear the crown of Super Bowl favorite.
.35 yards that time on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings them out. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They start on the ground with Elliott. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Inside give to Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Elliott. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Elliott on first down, going to get about 3 before he's taken down. A lot of storylines in this matchup. The Packers have had the upper hand. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings. You think about the Dez Bryant game in the playoffs and the catch, no catch controversy. But, of course, the news here, the return of Mike McCarthy. He was the coach here from 2006 to 2018. Only Curly Lambeau himself has more wins as a Packer coach than McCarthy. And that includes Vince Lombardi. So he had quite an accomplished tenure, no doubt, including the Super Bowl win. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They'll run for it with Pollard. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. No score after 1 on EA Sports. A first down carry by Elliott. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A give to Elliott running left. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cowboys post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now, the midterm elections are now concluded, and I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief for that. But now it's time for midterm football, where we've moved past the unofficial halfway point of the season, And we got a couple of good matchups in the night games here in Week 10. Tonight it's North versus South in California, the Chargers and Niners from Santa Clara. And then tomorrow, Monday night, it's both Charles's birthday, happy early birthday, buddy, and the first primetime appearance for the Commanders as they traveled up to Philly to take on the Eagles. A lot going on.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. He'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Jones. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Taking it about the 16.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Up the middle, here's Elliott. They find some open field here. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott.
That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0.
I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Well, what we've seen from them so far this season, you can't stop them on offense. You can't score on them on defense. So, to me, if you're going to play against them, you have to bring your best game and hope they throw a clunker in that day to give yourself a chance.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Throwing is Rodgers. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Rodgers now to throw. That's complete to Cobb. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Now Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where you see the final score there. Davis Mills, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they trail the visiting Colts as that one's gone to the intermission. Matt Ryan having his hottest start as you can. 4 first-half touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. A touchdown run for James Conner. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys have the lead at Lambeau as we send you back up to Green Bay and rejoin Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 40, past the 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Cowboys. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. They'll look to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. The third time wasn't a charm. They got the first two-point tries. Still have the lead, but couldn't get the third.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, what matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident to go for two so often?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, but it has to be something, you're right, that they saw all week, correct?
Definitely game planned for, felt good about being aggressive and going for it, and right up until that one, they had gotten 2 for 2.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Watkins. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taken in at the 22. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And they will take over 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And some room to roam now. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 67 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And he's brought down. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for two, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On the delay, Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Cowboys have recovered. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
Elliott going to get it again on second down.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now Prescott on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Rodgers going to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cobb. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
This one swung out here to Jones. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 238 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A give to Elliott. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Here's Prescott. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see them kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You have some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big 4th quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Here's Rodgers. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded just inside the 30. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for the Cowboys, The train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And